Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello guys, welcome back. The case of Wike has escalated beyond the boundaries of Nigeria as a human rights group have sent a strong message across the United States of America and other personality, though in Nigeria, letting them know of what Wike had said. Don't forget that 2 weeks ago, Wike talked about the issue of putting fire in some state because of their interference in Rivers State crisis, trying to strip him of his structure and giving it to Rivers State Governor Similari Fubara. And it didn't go well with so many people, and right now there is a lot in his hand. Top PDP stakeholders have reacted to it, but this time around it's coming from an Abuja human rights group, Center for the Advancement of Liberty and Good Governance, CALGG. They had petitioned the U.S. Secretary of State Blinken, IG of Police, orders against the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, accusing him of criminal incitement, threat to democratic process, peace, and stability. The petition signed by the National President, Dr. Daniel Karibo, and the National Secretary of Haji Isiako Abdullahi states, "We are writing to lodge a formal complaint with reference to the above state subject matter and to request an investigation and subsequent prosecution of Mr. Wike as provided for in Nigerian extant laws if found culpable. While we acknowledge that our request may be a Herculean task as Mr. Wike is a serving minister in the government you serve, may we also state that no man is above the law. The decision to write this petition is born out of patriotic zeal to ensure the survival of our democracy in a stable, peaceful Nigeria. May we therefore draw your attention to the following newspaper report. 1. Cover of Nation newspaper of 1st September 2024 with the caption, Wike to PDP governor, stay clear of river PDP structure or risk fire in your state. Photocopies attached. 2. Front page of this day newspaper of 1st September 2024 with the caption, Wike threatens PDP governor supporting Fubara, vows to instigate crisis in their state. Photocopies attached. Please note that Mr. Wike's threat were widely reported in print and electronic media. A clip is also available on Channels Television YouTube page titled, I will put fire in your state. Wike warned governors that wants to destroy Rivers PDP structure. Mr. Wike further stated that so far as I know, you're trying to put yourself in Rivers State, your hand will get burnt and you will never sleep in your state. You will never do governance again. You will see political crisis. Mr. Wike, rather arrogant public threat against chief security officers of some state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and in particular about his state, can best be described as unlawful. We have used laws from the criminal and penal codes and wish to state some provision that appears relevant as follows. Section 86 of the Criminal Code Act, threat to cause harm or violence. Section 61 of the Criminal Code Act, interference with executive or legislative power. Section 396 of the Penal Code, criminal intimidation. Section 96 of the Penal Code, criminal conspiracy, where two or more agree to commit an illegal act. We note in the Channel Television clip that Mr. Wike supporters enthusiastically supported his threat. Section 114 of the Penal Code, breach of the peace. We state that both merely as example of available laws that Mr. Wike may have broken, but as earlier stated, this list is not exhaustive. Mr. Wike's public declaration struck threat to duly elected governors that I will put fire in your states and you will never sleep in your state. You will never do governance again. You will see political crisis cannot be swept under the carpet. He has not only threatened the governors, he has also threatened the lives of millions of innocent Nigerians who reside in these states. By this threat, Mr. Wike may have unwittingly confessed that he is a sponsor of violence. Mr. Wike has attacked the spirit of democracy and in sowing seeds of discord, instability, and systemic insecurity. We therefore urge the Nigeria Police Force, the State Security Services (SSS), and the Office of the National Security Advisor (ONSA) to swiftly act. In conclusion, may we remind you that the intra-party crisis of the Action Group has grave consequences during the First Republic, as law-abiding citizens and Democrats will believe you will take the necessary action. Signed, Dr. Daniel Karibu, the national president, Alhaji Isiaku Abdullah, he national secretary. This is quite serious, I must say, which means Nigerians are yet to forget the statement Wike made some weeks ago. And but I believe that trying to copy the US for me is totally inconsequential, because Wike Street was not against US citizen, and writing IG or DSS or NSA for me has no value, because they are taking directive and doing whatever the government of the day tells them to do. So right now, for most people, they believe that whatever is going on is actually an intra-party issue. And if you have been watching on television, so many of them have come out to say what Wike said was not actually meant to be taken the way it is. It was just a metaphoric statement, it shouldn't be taken that way. All what he's trying to say is, if you don't give me peace, you will not have peace, blah blah blah. But let's try to put this right. Being a sitting minister, or number one, being once an elected governor who has served for 8 years, and being a minister of this particular administration, is expected that there should be some level of decorum, because if you're trying to bring in trying to cause lack of peace in any state, it clearly shows you don't even respect this administration. That's number one, consequences of such statement. And number two, it clearly shows you don't care whatever will happen in those states. And come on, it's not right. We've seen so many reactions from different quarters. We know whatever that has been done against him in PDP, to some extent, this guy was his godson, and he had committed everything to him and all of that. Being his godson, it is expected that he will still be the leader of Rivers State. That can be discussed. That can be, handled on a party level. Go down, meet your people and say, this is the reason why you see me raising alarm. All of this thing this guy has become, it was traceable to me. And I don't want him to front my structure and still think that he can control things the way I want it to be. Though, constitutionally, it's not right, But however, party-wise, it could be accepted, and then see how you can handle it. But to the extent of sending out such strong message is quite condemnable. PDP guys have condemned it severally, and the public at large has also condemned it. And some believe he doesn't have the capacity to do it. But then we know that Wike is one man who is a very strong fighter. When he goes out there and begin to act, I can assure you that you can never stop him. And we don't have to always escalate our issues to the US and all of that. It's not important whether we like it or not, because for once, the Americans have never written to the Nigerian government against their own citizens. And come on, well, yes, we know they are world power, but however, it makes no sense. So the ideal thing is to make sure that we handle our issue home here the way it should be. A lot of people believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should comment on this issue. But for him, he believes that this is party issue. And being that it's party issue, it makes no sense for him to get involved. But however, let's wait to see, because this is almost like the second time IGP has been informed about that statement. First, it started with Edwin Clark, who came out loud, and he said he was very precise: arrest Wike. And up till now, the IG has not made any statement in respect to that. Maybe it's because it was an open letter, it was not sent across to him. But however, it's still important when the public is crying out over this kind of case. It's good enough to dive into it and see how it can be solved once and for all. At least for the benefit of doubt, for the fact that other people have seen this and they are waiting to see the kind of action you're going to take. And in the event of not taking it, it will be a reference point in future, because if another person make this kind of horrible promise and you take up arms against him, somehow posterity will judge. But however, that's my little comment I can leave there based on what those guys have said. What's the position in respect to all